black and blue.
You got
Black and yellow, black and yellow. Just,
you don't even have any yellow on.
No.
Oh wait, we have yellow here. I got some yellow
Black and
earrings.
yellow. Oh look, my hair looks black today. Earlier it looked real
I
brown.
have some yellow heart earrings.
Hard. Oh yeah. I drank way too much coffee this
I
morning.
see that. Good
I was like, I can't be tired. Like chugging coffee.
Pardon me.
My nose is running.
You know these are going in the bloopers, right?
Yeah, that was fucking disgusting.
That's gonna be a great meme.
Oh no!
He's gonna have lots of material to work with. That's gonna be great.
Oh, I finished my water.
Here, you can have some of mine. I do have watermelon stuffs in it though.
That the packet one? Or like the cubes?
No, a packet.
Okay. I haven't tried this one yet.
Yeah.
I need a straw. Explode.
Yeah, that one gets real wild. I drink out of it, I close it, I'm like,
I just took a shower.
oh my god. So sorry. So sorry. Yeah.
Hey, I love that dress.
Thanks.
I've been wondering where that dress went.
It's mine.
It was mine.
It's mine.
It was mine,
It's
and then
mine.
you took it from me because you're like, this is too short. Okay.
Yeah, which is why I have leggings on. See? Leggings.
You said.
Okay, ready? I only put half a packet in there.
Oh.
I haven't tried this one. Why you do that? Jesus.
I did that at a table. They were like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Trust me.
Because I'm falling apart.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, I never sent this to my phone. Look at my. We'll talk about it later. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I guess not morning. I don't know. I just totally made the assumption that you were gonna watch this first thing in the morning. So sorry.
Hey,
What's up?
it's morning for us.
It is morning for us. Can you tell? We're like spazzed out. Welcome to Smile Girl, Don't Be Nervous. Thanks for coming back. We love having you. I hope you guys have listened to all of the previous episodes and have lots of questions. Please send them to us or comment on the video. We will be answering all of those comments as soon as we can. So I just wanted to say, back to the basics. My name is Lana. I'm the mom.
I'm Esperanza. I'm the daughter.
And Snuggles is going to be running around here. She's kind of indecisive today.
She's working her way.
Not really sure what she wants to do today, so this is where we're at. So this podcast is for people who want to learn. Trigger warnings for this particular episode is we will be talking about postpartum depression / psychosis. She's under investigation. So just make sure you take care today. Please, if you are a new mom, please do not be ashamed or afraid to reach out and ask for help because it is definitely vital. Your kids' life may depend on it. So do not minimize what you are feeling and feel free to reach out for help. Our disclaimers, our thoughts aren't the views of the author and are in no way affiliated with the books or the authors or the publishing companies. All of the thoughts that we have on these quotes and these studies are our own. They are not affiliated with anybody that would, like the authors or anything like that, publishing companies. So I also...
Dude, she about ripped my skin off.
I bet. Are you dirty?
Yeah, I just took a shower.
Not enough, apparently.
Jesus.
You're not dirty enough. Or you're too dirty. You're not clean enough. You're not clean enough. So, that being said, excuse me.
She's gonna, they're gonna hear that and be like, so sorry.
You are under investigation.
Apparently Everything's under investigation today.
So, are you just gonna lay down? Can you just lay down? Because you're like all up in the mix, bro. Hey, can you lay down? So I also wanted to, before we get into the discussion, mention that I am working on getting contacts. I hate the glare that is coming off of my glasses. So this is what you would normally see. Hey. But of course, like, since I can't see, I'm sure I'm like cross-eyed. So
a little bit. A little bit.
So I am working on getting contacts, so just bear with me. It'll happen within the next couple of episodes. So the quote that we're going to review today is from Marked, book 1 of the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cass.
Oh my god.
And oh yeah, she's totally shedding. And the quote is, "But remember, darkness does not always equate to evil, just as light does not always bring good." So in the context of this, going along with episode 2, it is the rest of the quote.
So part 2.
Yeah, so part 2. So Zoe's passed out. She's been marked. She's running to see her Grandma Redbird.
At the lavender farm.
And she has fallen, and she's hit her head.
I've fallen and I cannot get up.
And she's passed out, and Nyx is conversating with her while she's passed out. Nyx just told her that Zoe will be her eyes and ears in the world today, a world where good and evil are struggling to find balance. So after Zoe objects with that, because any 16-year-old would, Nyx tells her, "You are old beyond your years, Zoe Bird. Believe in yourself and you will find a way. But remember, darkness does not always equate to evil, just as light does not always bring good." So once again, this is in book 1 of the House of Night series called Marked, and it is on page 41. All right, so we have 2 articles that go with today's podcast. Those links will be in the notes because, of course, I did write down the authors in this one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it will be cited 110%. My psychological side and my attorney side would not allow that to not be cited.
That is also plagiarism.
So, yes. So, we don't do that here.
Mm-mm.
Get out of my brain.
Sorry.
So the link to both of the articles that we're going to be covering are in the show notes. So please. Oh my god.
Yo. Okay, go ahead. This is going to be a wild episode.
What?
It's going to be wild today. Go ahead.
So both of the articles that we'll be using will be definitely in the show notes. Please read the articles. Do not take our word as to what the article is saying.
Or do.
Please educate yourself about what's being said, where these sources are from. These are peer-reviewed articles. Well, the first one is a peer-reviewed article. The second one isn't. The second one didn't need to because we're just reviewing colors. But the first one is definitely peer-reviewed. So please go look at that. So this first one talks about we got to set some definitions here in order for it to make sense. So the first one talks about conceptual metaphor theory, CMT for short.
Country music.
No.
Sorry.
It's like, what? And then I was like, oh yeah, like the music channel. Well, music channels aren't music channels anymore.
No, we don't even have on demand anymore.
Yeah, actually we do because we have DirecTV.
No, but on Spectrum, if you hit on demand, you can't even find music anymore.
Oh, well that's how DirecTV is better than Spectrum.
Well, absolutely.
We get those.
Switch.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Start fucking getting sponsored.
I totally I'm not I don't know if I could be a sponsor or not because I do not appreciate how much it costs.
DirecTV?
Yes. They always call me to do hey, we can give you a free, trial or whatever, and we'll charge you afterwards. And I'm like, no, I don't want the free trial. And they're like, no, it's free. And I'm like, no, I don't want it.
No, it's not free because then you'll charge me afterwards.
And then they're like, well, it's free for this amount of time, and then we'll start charging you. I'm like, look, man, I don't even want to pay what we have now. The reason why we have it is because my husband wants it. All right.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you're lucky that he wants it because otherwise I'd be like, no, that's an expense we don't need.
Yeah. Cut.
Yeah. So then they don't call me for like 4 months.
Good. They said, this bitch is crazy.
This is a load of barnacles.
Lucky. You want a sponsor? Call Justin.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
But we do have on-demand music, and so it is nice, especially when I'm cleaning the house.
I didn't know we had it. I always just put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, yeah, YouTube is pretty good. Because then you get the music videos, but like on DirecTV, you get like the actual just music. And then you get like holiday music, and then you get like all the reggaeton channels and stuff.
Yeah, see, like my YouTube playlist is just like everything
that
I listen to. And I'm like, okay. I bust a move in my kitchen.
Yeah. Well, we specifically have a ton of room in our kitchen, and literally
a sign.
Yeah, like these that say like,
this kitchen is made for dancing.
Yes. And so when we
bust a move,
we get down.
We've been dancing on chairs, on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, we just like whip some chairs around, and we're just like, yeah. I mean, it gets a little crazy in our house. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm so off. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So CMT. The definition is people use metaphors so that they can represent non-tangible thoughts and feelings in terms of more tangible, perceivable references. Okay? Now, I know that doesn't make sense.
Nope.
So here's like an example of what that is. Okay? So in the House of Night, Zoe gets shattered. Obviously, we talked about that. Spoiler alert. Sorry, this is from Burned. I can't remember what book number it is. But this is from Burned. I want to say it's like 7.
No.
Way off, bro. Way off.
Well, okay, so Chosen, Betrayed, and Tempted.
Oh, I don't have the whole series yet. I'm working on it. I want to say it's like 6 or 7. Okay. We did talk about this in episode 1. So if you want to see a picture of the Burned book, go to episode 1. So she gets shattered because her human consort, her boyfriend from like
2nd grade, I think.
Yeah, super young. That was like when they first met. They have been like sweethearts this whole time, and he does everything for her, and it's all about Zoe. Hey, Zoe.
What's his name?
Heath Luck.
Okay, wasn't he a dick in the first book?
No, that was. Okay, so he wasn't a dick. He was being a teenage boy, and he was drinking and partying, and that's why she didn't want to be with him, because he was drinking and getting high, and he was like the star football player, so he's like full of all the,
Ew.
Yeah, that's why Anthony quit football. But like, he was full of all of that, and so it's like, yeah, you need to get your shit together. And so, but he did by that point of the book.
Okay.
Yeah, he had stopped drinking. He was going to school. He was getting good grades. He was like applying for college. Like, he was set, but he was also set on still being there with Zoe, even though she was a vampire. Right? So, so he gets killed.
Heath does?
Heath gets killed.
Damn.
Yeah.
What did he do?
So Kelowna and Neferet were in like cahoots on like how to get to Zoe, because they're talking in front of the High Council. So they're all there. So like Zoe, the Nerd Herd, Aphrodite, Heath, Kelowna, Neferet, like they're all there, and they're talking to the High Council in Capri, I believe is where it's at. I was like, oh God, where is it at? I think they're in Capri. And it's like this island. Your eyes are watering. Are you sad? Are you sad that Heath passed?
Yeah.
I was heartbroken. I was like, no! I was like picking at the book. Oh, it was horrible. I was like, yeah, it was so bad. I was like,
you sound like a bobblehead.
This didn't just happen. It's so like you reread it to make sure you didn't like read it right. Like,
yeah.
And it did happen.
Yeah.
So Heath is going for a walk in the labyrinth, okay, and Neferet is talking with Kelowna, on the other side, and so Heath hears them, and so he is, you're under investigation, viewers. So Heath is trying to listen to what they are saying, so he is going to run back as quietly as he can to go tell Zoe what's going on and what their plan is. And he, of course, steps on a twig, right? So Kelowna is like, well, like, now that you know what's happening, you can't leave. And snaps his neck. Just gone. Yeah. So because Heath and Zoe are imprinted, right? She feels his death.
Oh, damn.
Okay. She shatters, right? Because not only does she feel his death,
but now the love of her life
is gone, right? So she shatters. She's gone. Her spirit leaves her body. Yeah, just... her spirit leaves her body and goes to the other world with Heath. Okay? And she...
So obviously she doesn't want to come back.
Right. So Stark, her warrior, her vampire warrior here, well, not like here, but like in the real world, right. In the book real world,
yeah,
has to be on the brink of death in order to bring her back. And that's totally what that whole book is about. It's fucking crazy. It's my favorite book in the series.
Okay.
So she can't deal with the world, and so that was how she escaped. Right? That was how she could deal with her feelings, is by being shattered and being in the other world. Okay? So that's a metaphor.
But was she really dealing with her feelings, or just escaping because then she was with the love of her life in the other world?
Right. So how she gets herself together is she has to bring the different parts of herself together.
Right.
So she has to bring, like, happiness and joy and strength. And she has to bring all of her parts together in order to come back. And he starts that journey, and then Stark finishes it with her. She has to do it herself, but they are like her supports in order to help talk her through it. Okay. So that was a seriously dark time in her life, right? And even like when we reference like the things that happen in like major life events that happen in our life, that's redundant, but like major events that happen to us, they're viewed as like the dark times. Oh, that was a really dark time in my life. I was in a dark place, right?
Right.
That's what you go to. So my biggest dark time was when I was experienced the postpartum depression, like borderline psychosis. Like people would stop by. I had a really hard time. Like Anthony, poor Anthony, he was so young. And he...
Did you have it worse with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I think there was just so many things going on. After I had you, and like even before, like it had started, you know, while I was pregnant with you.
Right.
There was just so many things going on that, I was trying to work through so many things. Plus my hormones are out of fucking whack. Right. That like, so when I am not a nice pregnant person. Like I am Satan's wife when I'm pregnant. Like I get into a room and I'm like, why are you fucking breathing? Like I just couldn't. I do not do well when I'm pregnant. Everybody's like, oh, you're glowing, and I'm like, I'm sweating. Okay, I gained like 50 some pounds. Like, get the fuck, don't touch me. My clothes are touching me. Like I just don't. Why are you here? Like,
why are you alive? Fuck. I feel like I will not be good pregnant because that's me daily. I'm like, why are you breathing my vicinity?
Normally, I'm not like that. Normally, I'm like, oh, it's whatever. It's whatever. You know, like he's just having a bad day or whatever, right? But when I'm pregnant, I'm just like
0 fucks.
I will fucking kill. Like I don't get away from me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, I was dealing with like your dad and I breaking up, and learning that he had cheated on me, learning that I had given him another chance and he cheated on me again. So it was just, and then going through another pregnancy again because I had gone through my pregnancy by myself with Jeremy. Like, it was just, like, one thing after another.
And then
I was in school.
And then he didn't come to the hospital.
He didn't come to the hospital.
He left to go get married.
No. So right after I had you...
I just untied my shoe. With my upper foot.
The audacity.
I know.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Okay. So that came later. That came afterwards.
Okay.
So, in the beginning, though, it was really hard. Like, it was hard for me to get out of bed. I wasn't eating. I wasn't feeding you. So Anthony had to feed you. I just didn't want, and you know this story, so not anything is going to come out as a shock, but I didn't even want to see you.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard to even hold you. I was just like, God, she fucking cries all the time. And it wasn't anything like, you didn't like the milk. I wasn't producing enough milk, so I couldn't get you to breastfeed.
Right.
And then we had you on, like, soy formula. Well, we had you on regular formula, and then, like, it was like The Exorcist, right? And so you, like, projectile vomited, like, across the room, you know? And
dude, impressive shit.
My bio mom was like, whoa. Right? And she was like, how did she have this much in her tummy, you know? And then, like, we put you on soy, and your stomach was still upset, so we had to give you, like, manzanilla once a week with honey in order to, like, soothe you. And they're like, don't give honey to, like, newborns. And don't. Like, she's special. So, I mean, like, you know, we were giving you, like, manzanilla once a week, and you were still getting upset, so we had to give you tummy rubs, and you were just upset.
I was in so much pain.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know? And there was nothing I could do to help you, and it wasn't helping, like, what was going on in my brain. So I would just let you cry. I would leave you in a room, and I would have to walk away because I would get so violent.
Yeah.
That I would just have to leave. And, you know, everybody's like, are you doing okay? And I'm like, and I would tell people, I would literally tell them that I felt like I was lost in a cornfield, and I couldn't find my way out. I couldn't figure out which way was in or out. And cornfields still freak me out a little bit. Like, we've done cornfield mazes, and I'm like...
Yeah, she's roll right here.
Yeah, like,
roll right here.
See me. Like, I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling of being lost, because that was literally what I equated being in that postpartum was. It was not being able to get out. Like, I could hear voices, and I'd go that way, and I couldn't find them. And then I'd try and go this way, and I couldn't find them. And it was just like I was locked inside this box.
Almost like the Maze Runner.
Yes. Yeah. It was crazy, because I'd sit there and I'd be crying for no reason. And it was just depression. A lot of processing through, oh my God, I'm doing this again. You know, this was supposed to be my husband, you know, like, we were planning a wedding, and I find out, you know, mid-wedding planning that he's sleeping with somebody else, you know, like, and it was just a lot of things.
And I have his child.
Yeah, you know, and it was just, it was so crazy. So I couldn't get anyone to understand at that point that I wasn't okay, and I was constantly left alone with both you and Anthony. And it was a very dark period of my life, right? So, you know, Anthony struggled. You know, poor Anthony has been through so much during that time period. You know, he still was nonverbal at that time, but he was, like, there to help, you know, with whatever I needed, because we were a team. We still are. Right? And so it was so hard.
I feel like Anthony doesn't use words to this day.
No.
To express anything. He's verbal, but he's still nonverbal.
Right. Most of his communication is nonverbal.
Yeah.
Still. And I think that's just where he's comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's not super smart.
He's
boy
fucking
is, like,
intelligent.
Amazingly smart. Yeah, like...
He just has different ways of communicating.
Yeah. You know, like, him and Michaela celebrate their monthly anniversaries, which is so cool.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how he shows that he cares, you know, by doing things.
But he's still just, like, he won't tell you, hey, I'm feeling this way. It's very much of...
Yeah.
And then walks away.
Yeah. And you're just like, ugh.
Or he'll come in, fucking bust into your room.
He messes with your face. He's like, "Woo!" And then he's like, "Woo!"
And then he's out.
And then he's like, and then he'll leave.
It's just him checking
yeah.
in. Just making sure you're good.
Apparently he does do that to the Michaela too.
Oh, good. Good.
He was telling me Michaela was gone for a couple of days. I don't remember where she was at. And he was like, and I turned around to like, go like mess with her. And she was there. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So she gets the check-ins too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just, you know, how he checks in. So, do you have a dark period in your life that you want to share? Like, something that made you feel dark, right? Which is crazy because you can't feel colors, right? So, was there, or a time that you felt really light?
I guess the only time that I've like really ever felt like shattered was when Dad picked me up from school on his bike.
Okay.
And then took me to your work.
Yeah.
And told me, hey, I'm moving to Florida today. Told me he loved me.
Yeah.
And then left.
With like no notice. No notice.
Yep. And I went inside your work and just bawled.
Yeah.
Because that was another time he was leaving.
Yeah, and you guys had gotten really close up to that point.
Yeah,
I mean, he was like...
living down the street from us.
Yeah. And he was like your volleyball coach at school.
Yeah. And we were doing
like
Easter together. And
yeah.
he lived down the street from us. And so we got really close and then was like...
He was even living with us for a very short period of time.
Yeah. And then got his own place down the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he was just like gone. Yeah.
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 And I was in 4th or 5th grade at that point.
No, I think it was 6th because
6th was in
you were
Centennial.
Right, and he was coaching for Centennial.
He was coaching for Summit.
Oh, was he coaching for Summit? Okay, all right. So maybe it was 5th then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how.
Because remember we were doing games at the rec center.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice you wore darker colors? Do you know?
I don't remember. That was so long ago. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't even remember what my wardrobe was like at that point.
Yeah. So what's your favorite color in general?
Yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah.
It's so ironic.
I know.
You will see on the screen there is a color chart that shows like the different meanings of different colors and stuff. There is a such thing called color psychology. Lots of vendors use it. You'll see another picture of that where like red is Netflix and it conveys certain meanings, certain like feelings and stuff when you see like the emblems. If you talk about like marketing psychology, we took a chapter of this when I was in school, but marketing psychology, they use blue and orange for laundry detergent, blue, orange, and yellow, like those like primary colors, in order to get your attention. So notice that when you go down like the laundry aisle, and marketing psychology also puts like all of the candy at the registers and then all of the toys at the bottom for the kids. And so those last minute purchases. Yeah, because the adults aren't ever going to see that shit that's on the bottom. Me, I'm always looking at shit on the bottom because they got some cool shit down there.
Dude, I was like, dude, they got beef jerky. Yeah.
And I'm like, look, they got like these little toys down here. Look, like.
And then I do notice that they have like batteries and portable chargers and mascara and
like at mid-level.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's crazy too that if you go down the toy aisles, you'll see which aisles are for girls.
Oh yeah.
And which aisles are for boys.
And then they have like babies and toddlers.
Right. So like if you go down the girls, it's like pinks, purples, really light colors. Yeah. If you go down the boy aisle.
It's like oranges,
It's
blues.
like oranges, blues, blacks.
Yeah.
You know, all those
Reds.
darker colors. Yeah. So, look at the marketing and color psychology. It is crazy.
Is it cold in here?
They do.
I'm
It is
freezing.
It was like 52 degrees when I walked out here this morning, and I was like,
Yikes.
okay, yeah. So I mean, there's that. We are getting fall. By the time this hits, it'll be like October. So,
Dude, I've been freezing for like the last few weeks.
well, mine's only been the last couple of days. So, according to this article, it says when people are asked to evaluate colors or to provide emotion labels for colors, they typically ascribe pleasant emotions to lighter stimuli and unpleasant emotions to darker stimuli. Right?
That's so funny that your favorite color is purple and then the words that go with it.
Yeah, I know, right? So if you look at yellow, what is it? Caution, energy, cheerful,
friendliness,
intellect, and cowardice. And then mine is royalty, luxury, passion, magic, wisdom, and extravagance. Because I am so far from a bougie bitch. But there are some things that I'm like, no, that's not going to work.
Water.
Yeah, I am kind of a water snob.
Me too, but not as bad as you.
Right, yeah. It's a thing. So, and that's why we have the colors for Smile Girl Don't Be Nervous, because it's both of our favorite colors put together. And that puts the perfect blend into our episodes. So, I know.
It doesn't even look purple.
Oh, it is totally purple. It's like a royal purple. That's crazy that it doesn't come out right in the camera. Rude. Just rude.
Excuse you.
And then, of course, there's Snuggles, and her favorite color is black. So she has sophistication, power, mystery, formality, evil, and death. So that transitions us perfectly into our next section.
Excuse me. Hey, I need these.
She's like, no.
Thanks.
So once again, when people are asked to evaluate colors, they, put like the darker colors toward, the more evil things, and the lighter colors like white towards, the things that are more good, right? And it's kind of embedded in our culture, in between like media and like, the culture that we're in and how it's portrayed in itself. There's always like good versus evil, or light versus dark, or whatever. And you'll see there's you absolutely cannot have those. And so there's always that like good versus evil in just about every single movie that you look into, right? I mean, even if you go into like cartoons, there's like Encanto, or Coco, which I haven't personally seen.
That one's about the
Dia de los Muertos.
No, it's
I haven't seen it. I know it's not Hannah's favorite movie.
It's about like what happens after death in the Mexican culture.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of like Dia de los Muertos.
Kind of, but every day.
Yeah. So there was a study done by Adams and Osgood that found that dark color words.
She's so fat.
She is not. Anthony calls her a potato.
She is a potato.
A potato. Okay, so Adams and Osgood found that dark color words connotated negativity in over 20 cultures, including Iran, India, and Thailand. This metaphoric association likely builds on classic environmental correlations linking darkness to vulnerability, but it's also reinforced through linguistic and visual media, right? So what we talk about, what we see on TV, it's always that darkness versus light. So, an example of this, in The House of Night, Stevie Ray is calling forth the white bull, right? She is calling one of the bulls, which are like the end-all be-all of evil and darkness, and she calls the white bull because she believes the bull to be pure and the good bull, right? Understandable, right? However, that is not the case.
Sniffing my ear.
When the white bull in this series is actually the evil bull. And it's like the whites of the eyes of dead pupils.
Ooh.
Okay? And it smells putrid, and it's slick, slimy, and cold. Okay? I mean, just sounds terrifying. when he walks, he burns the earth wherever he walks. Yeah, it's crazy. So she calls the white bull, and you have to pay a price when you call each bull. Okay, so she finds out later that he is the evil bull, and then both her and Rephaim have to pay the price for calling the white bull. Then she corrects the situation and pulls up enough energy in order to call the black bull in order to rectify the situation. And the black bull is described as black as the pitch black of night with the stars.
So calming.
Yes. Okay. So totally not like, obviously we always, here in America, we equate white to being good. Right? And so that was obviously, she's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Home of the Fighting Hens, or Henrietta. She's from Henrietta, home of the Fighting Hens, right? So that's.
Do you think this is because I'm not home?
Yes, that's what she's telling you. She needs Levins. So according to Carrie Cousins in the below article listed in the show notes, in the below article, Colors and Materials, the color black represents. In Western cultures, North America and Europe, black is the color of finality, death, formality, and mourning in North America and European cultures. It is also considered powerful and strong and can imply control or force. Consider the strong look associated with using reverse type. Okay? Eastern and Asian cultures, black can be connected to masculinity and is the color for boys in China. It also represents wealth, health, and prosperity. In Thailand and Tibet, though, black is most closely associated with evil. Okay, going along with the same thing. Mm-hmm. In Latin America, Latin cultures also associate the color, or strictly speaking, tone, with masculinity and is the preferred color for men's clothing. It is also linked to mourning. In the Middle East, black has somewhat contrasting but symbiotic meanings. It represents both rebirth and mourning. Evil and mystery are also associated with black. And around the world, black is associated with magic and the unknown in almost all cultures. Okay? But white represents, in the Western cultures with North America and Europe, white is the color of purity and peace. It is often associated with weddings and is the color most often worn by brides. White is also clean and sterile and used to represent hospitals and even holiness, if you think of the Pope. Mm-hmm. In Italy, however, white is used for funerals, and traditionally white chrysanthemums are placed at grave sites.
I was literally thinking about that. Like, in some places, like for weddings, they'll wear black. And then...
Yeah, you're not allowed to wear white because it's considered bad luck.
Yeah, and then when you go to a funeral, you wear white.
Right.
And then it's
because you don't want. So, if I remember correctly, I read somewhere, and I can't remember where it's at, so don't quote me, but they wear white so that the spirit doesn't connect to them. Right? Because you're holy. So if it doesn't connect to you, then it goes. Right?
And so, like...
pardon her.
Excuse you. Damn. And so, like, here it's the complete opposite. We wear white to weddings. Or the bride does. Okay.
Yeah, nobody but the bride can wear white here.
And then for funerals, you wear black.
Right. So in Eastern and Asian cultures, white is also the color of death in the East. It is used at funerals and represents sterility, mourning, unhappiness, and misfortune. Latin America, white has many of the same associations as in North America and is connected to purity and peace. In the Middle East, both purity and mourning are associated with white. In Iran, for example, that definition expands to include holiness and peace. And in Egypt, wearing white is a symbol of a person's high-ranking status.
Like the Pope.
Right, but that they're in Egypt, so that's, I don't know.
The Pope's in Egypt?
No, the Pope's in the Vatican City in Rome. Yeah, so I thought that was crazy. And around the world, the white flag is the universal symbol of truce.
I didn't know that.
So if you wave a white flag, then that's your surrender, right? I call truce.
I didn't know that. I even took history. I took advanced history. Did not know that.
Yikes.
Yeah. Shows how good that school system is. Because I'm really good. So I'm really book smart.
Right.
Super book smart.
Yes. Life smart, not so much.
There's some difficulties. Super book smart, though. So when I find something out and it wasn't taught in school, there's a problem.
Right.
Because it's not like, oh, I forgot, or, oh, I wasn't paying attention. That would maybe be a possibility. But the second I am paying attention, I'm super fucking smart.
Mm-hmm. And you're super involved.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with, like, history and astronomy, and as much as I fucking hate to say it, I'm really good at math.
Right. Right.
I'm just really good at school.
Right.
So, like, when I find this stuff out, I'm like, where was this?
Right.
Because that I would have remembered. Because, like the war...
Well, because it's fascinating.
Yeah, because, like,
right?
the war with our American flag, in, like, the Star Spangled Banner, it says, our flag was still there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big fucking deal.
Right. Right.
That is something that you remember.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been something that I would have remembered.
Right.
So that's a problem with the school system.
So, given the black and white issue here, can you think of another situation, just as we wrap up here, where light and darkness are not what they seem? I can think of one, but I'm gonna see if you can come up with the same one I come up with, because they generally tend to be on the same, like...
So the only thing that I can think of is, like, black magic. Or, like, witchy magic.
Okay, I'm like, because black magic is, like, more towards the evil side.
Yes.
Like necromancy and stuff.
Yeah, no. Like, our type of magic.
Okay.
I don't even know what we call our magic.
I'm not sure either. We do, like, more kitchen stuff. Kitchen magic stuff.
Yeah. Because, like, when I tell people, yeah, we're witches, they're like...
Oh, my God! What are you thinking?
Yeah. But I'm like, no. I'm not placing hexes on you guys. Like, I'm not that type of witch.
We have a friend for that.
Don't get me wrong, I will. But, like, I'm not.
Well, I mean, like, life is, you have to have that balance, you know, the yin and the yang, you know, you have to have that balance. If you're going to have good, you have to have evil. In order to have that balance, just like Nyx tells Zoe, you know, the world, the world where good and evil are struggling to find balance, there has to be that balance. We'll talk in a later episode where Nyx is talking about evil being in her realm, in her heavenly realm, and it has to be there because wherever goodness is, darkness has to be. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. But that's like the only thing that I can think of, like, where... You know what I mean?
Right. And I immediately went to religion. You know, the good Christian. Now, I'm not saying, because we used to be Christian.
We did.
We used to be Christian. We used to be practicing. We used to go to Highland Park. Still love that church. Still behind that church 110%.
Still wish we could do the food for Nicaragua.
The Nicaragua, like, packing event. Oh, man,
that was
we
so
would,
much
like,
fun.
totally get into that. You know, the good works that they do around our community here in Casper,
It's amazing.
like, they are fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
Pastor
They're a great
Mike
church.
is great. He has helped so many things. His wife gave us gas money to get to church.
Yeah.
Because we were struggling there for a time period. They are amazing people. Some of the people that we still have in our lives still go to that church, or we have met at that church.
My best friend and I
You know, you met Octavia. You know, I met Miss PJ, who is fabulous. I love her so much. You know, we catch up and go over and we have coffee dates, and we meet up at coffee shops periodically just to check in and see how each other are doing. And she was my my women's group pastor, and so she led that, and we were tight. You know, like we have talked about lots of different things, and
she's hanging off the table.
You know, Jackie, my old boss, you know, she is still very church oriented. You know, Shauna, my best friend, is very, I mean, not really church oriented because she doesn't have time to go to church. But she is very centered around God. Yeah. You know, like, her life is all around God, and that is 110% okay. We do not look down on. We accept every faith. We know people of all faiths. We have, people in Satanism and Wicca and Christian and Catholic and Buddhist, Confucianism. Like, we know lots of, we are people that do spirituality and no religion at all. Atheists, like, we are friends with everybody, and we do not disrespect any faith in any way, shape, or form. What I don't like is when the people say, we are good Christians and you should not be doing that. And it's like, okay, first of all, what does one have to do with the other? Like, I don't understand that, and I really struggle with the holier than thou kind of attitude that comes with that. When they use their faith in order to just like badger and demean somebody, I don't agree with that at all. Like,
or they use their faith in
trying to control,
like, their faith in holiness in order to get out of situations. Okay, I did that because I'm a child of God.
I mean, many wars have been started under the name of God.
Yeah. And our Star Spangled Banner, or Pledge of Allegiance, literally says, under God.
Under God. And let me tell you what, like, I am all about the Pledge of Allegiance, and about, like, I am super American. Like, I do, I just, when we went to the rodeo and homeboy wouldn't take off his sunglasses, and I'm like, let me get in that goddamn arena, because
he did it the second night too.
Doing?
He did it the second night too, and I was like,
we gonna chat because you do not disrespect, but that's just where we stand. And that is because my dad's side of the family is from Mexico. I mean, like, deep Mexico.
Man, I need a beer. Let's get a now we'll try it. Wait,
you made the right choice, fool.
Right? Old Mexico values, like, women aren't allowed in bars. From what I understand. I haven't been there, but that's what I understand. Like, even when I met my paternal grandma and grandpa, I had asked my grandma a question, and she asked her husband something, and I was like, wait, did I just misunderstand that? And my cousin was like, no. Good Lord. And my cousin was like, no, she asked for permission to speak. And when I tell you, I lost my fucking mind. Okay?
I don't understand that. If I want to speak, I will speak.
Right, but they're from a different culture, right? They're like old Mexico. Like, we in America, we are grown up with that, like, ability to do those things.
Yeah.
And it's not like down, it's actually expected.
Yeah.
Right?
Speak your mind.
But, down in old Mexico, like, you can't do that. You aren't allowed to do those things. You aren't allowed to have those things. So I look at how different my life would have been had I been taken to Mexico by my dad versus staying here with my mom. And I'm like, I am so grateful for the thing. I am grateful that I can be stubborn, and that I can have attitude, and that, I can be who I am, and I don't have to, like, water myself down. And as we talked about in last episode, I've tried that and it doesn't work.
I feel like, because I'm known as Sassy SB.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we went to Mexico, like, I would have been in so much trouble.
Yeah. And it wouldn't work for us. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't. And so I am super appreciative, of, like, my car, and, being able to own things and being able to dress how I do. Like, and it's just not, it's a totally different world. And so, and Catholics are a really big thing down there too. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and so the way that we live, I mean, we would just be shunned, we would be the neighborhood brujas, you know what I mean? And that would come with a connotation all of itself, and we would be considered black, we would be in that black area, because in Latin America, it's seen as evil. Yeah. So it's just crazy how those cultural connotations with the colors and the assumptions of what is considered good and evil really tend to come out. I mean, you think about the I do research for my state job, and
That's where I was going to.
you talk about those the gender reassignment church camps or whatever, and these kids are like tortured, you know, like in ways that I can't even describe here because then we would get dinged for YouTube. But I mean, look it up. You know, they are shown inappropriate, completely inappropriate pictures and given, you know, negative stimuli. And I mean, just look it up, and it's heartbreaking because
But it's
I
very
see
real.
that as evil. But depending on what, you know, belief you're coming in, you know,
It's
that's
good.
it's good, you know, because they shouldn't do this and they shouldn't do that and they shouldn't be this and they shouldn't be that, and it's, you're looking at it and you're torturing a child. No matter what way you slice it, you're torturing a child. If you look at it from the good side, you're still torturing a child to get those results that you want. If you look at it from an evil and the evil side, you know, you're still torturing a child. So either way you cut it, you're still torturing children in these camps and stuff. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Otherwise, I'm just gonna
Right.
lose my mind.
Yeah. She's very passionate.
Let me tell you what, when you get me talking about these kids, it is,
Oh, yeah.
it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart. The things that kids experience.
Especially in the system.
Yeah.
Totally heard you choke though.
I did, because I just, once again, you know, we will definitely come to that part of the discussion later. And that will be quite a long episode. I'm going to give you a heads up now because,
Do you see how long my hair is getting?
yeah, I'm so excited.
It's fucking wild.
So, that being said, that is what we have for today's episode. So, really keep an open mind as you leave today.
Look,
I
it
know.
rained.
It's like, it's crazy. Oh, speaking of which, these cups are from Glammy Jane. This one was specifically made for me by Miss Shauna over at Glammy Jane's Designs. I have a
Okay.
matching hoodie that goes
she
with
looks
this.
just like you.
I did.
Except for the fact that you can't put your hair in a bun to save your life.
Yes. Yeah, I'm growing
No.
my hair out again.
No, I'm saying in general. To save your life, you cannot.
I used to when it was really long, back before you didn't know. In high school, I used to put my hair up in a bun with a pencil. Ask Terry.
Okay, but like a messy bun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now she cannot put her hair in a bun.
Now it's super layered.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
So buns, not a thing. Okay? But other than that, it looks just like her. Even with like the glasses. And the nose ring.
Yep.
I just realized she had her nose pierced.
And then here's the other cup. I know you probably can't see it that much or that well on camera, but it's a unicorn, and it says, "I'm not a hot mess. I'm a spicy disaster," and he's pouting. It's hilarious.
Can you see it?
It's my-
Like they're gonna respond?
Yes.
My bad!
So, but yes, Shauna Fernicase over at Glammy Jane's Designs. We rep her all the time.
This really does taste like oatmeal.
It's cinnamon apple spice tea with caramel premier protein. So
Okay.
caramel apple.
Yeah, so okay, so you know like the apple and cinnamon oatmeal package?
Yes. Yeah, it's so good. I can taste it. It's so good.
I just caramel. Let it go.
Anyways, well, thanks for joining us. Join us next week because we will have our first guest speaker.
Oh, I'm so
And
excited.
it is Nana. It is my foster mom, and she saved my life, and I love her so very much. And we will be talking about cats and how they can measure a person. Are they good people? Are they bad people? What does it mean if a cat chooses you?
All right.
Anyways,
Did you hear that deep ass sigh?
Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Share us with all your friends. And thanks for coming again. Send questions, comments, concerns to, you can email us at smileagirldon'tbenervous@gmail.com. You can message us directly on our videos on YouTube.
My hair looks fabulous.
We have an Instagram at smileagirldon'tbenervous.
We have a TikTok.
We do have TikTok.
Whoa!
Finally. And that is it at Smile Girl?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waiting.
No, I'm 100%. like 99.9% is a smile go dummy noise.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So once again, like, comment, and share, and we will see you
Follow
next
all the
time.
socials.
Yes, yes. I will also be posting music videos on our Facebook page. Smile Girl, Don't Be Nervous. In order to go with the actual videos, since I don't want to put them in our actual videos so that we don't violate copyright laws. So, but there are music videos that I do want to share with you that go with each episode. So make sure you follow our Facebook page so that you can see those and kind of get the message just a little bit more. So thank you for coming. We appreciate and love you all. All right. Bye.
Bye.